And we're live. Jeez. Bro, it's been a long time coming, guys. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Guys, welcome. Welcome to the show. Um, again, it's just thank you guys. Anyone who, if you guys are watching this on the playback, thanks for clicking on. Um, it's if you check some of the previous videos, you're gonna find out that it's been a while. It's been a rough ride, and but slowly but surely we're getting better. And you know, trying to reduce the struggle streaming, right? Um, so welcome, welcome. Who am I? For those who don't know, I am Coco Dan. I am an anime lover. I'm not a critic or anything like that. I'm the host and creator of this channel. And again, I'm not a critic, just an enthusiast, who loves anime. And I've been watching it for 20 years now. And I just wanted to, build a place where a more vocal community, a more vocal anime community, a place where we can all like just talk about our experiences with anime, our ideas, and everything like that. So here on this channel, we will review pieces of anime and manga and manhwa, I guess, especially now, right? And manhwa as well. But pretty much any animation, really. I'm not limited to just anime and manga, created in Japan, but also just really any good animation. Like I think animation is phenomenal, and it's way better than just 3D or live action because there's no limits to the imagination with that, right? So you know that's what we're going to be doing on this channel. Specifically, though, for this stream, and for the next couple of streams, right now we're going to be reviewing some of the anime episodes that I went through this week. And usually it's going to be these five: Solo Leveling, um, Sakamoto Days. I still don't know how to say that like fluidly. Sakamoto Days, Dragon Ball Daima, Rurouni Kenshin, and Grisaia Phantom Trigger. Those are the anime that I'm watching like right now, like this season. Everything else is there, but I know there's a lot of other good stuff, I know, but for me, these five are what I'm checking out right now. So um, I'm gonna be doing my breakdown of like the episodes, the weekly episodes, my key moments, things I liked, didn't like, whatever. And I would like you guys to also let me know your thoughts on the episode. So not just in a lot of you are going to be watching this on the replay. So fair, maybe when the channel grows a little bigger. But I would like you guys to not only share your thoughts in the comments, but hopefully soon in the chat. It's a live stream and also live with me, right? So, like I said, I'm trying to build a more vocal community. So I want people to come on stream with me, and we can talk about what you thought on the episode, right? Because everyone you see, there's a lot of other places, other YouTubers, and they tell you their thoughts, and then you guys only have to use like the comments, or you get to have an opinion, I guess, and use on Twitter or other social media. But I would like more vocal, like people just every day. It's not like a debate or anything. There's no heat, no judgment. It's a safe space, complete with troll safe doors and bulletproof windows. And if you get that reference, you're my kind of person. But yeah, so that's what we're doing here. So I'd like you guys to at some point come on live and share your thoughts with me. We can just build a community that way. So that's who I am and what we do, or what I do. Um, if you like the channel, you like the content, you like the format, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps it grow, it helps our community grow, and it helps us. just enjoy ourselves a lot more because we're building the whole community, right? Um, so yeah, that is enough about me, and let's talk about you know the anime we have covered for the past week. So first up, let's go with Solo Leveling. I think it was episode 5, the latest episode, right? And I don't know. I'm sure you guys noticed, but the animation kind of changed, right? It was now like it was reminiscent of season 2, episode 1 in 2, right? It was sharper, more fluid. The art style was really nice. The other episodes, they were all right, you know, but you could tell they were not as good as this episode, right? Or as good as episode 1 and 2, right? They were all right, which is fine. I can't even give them too much heat for that. I can't even blame them. Naruto did the same thing, which is actually smart because they will invest enough time to make something and make it look good when it's a really key episode, right? There's a lot of action involved, or sakuga, or like fight scenes and stuff like that. So that's actually pretty good. Um, Here, in this episode, it was back to that, like really good, good animation. So we enjoyed it. I loved it. I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, we're eating good. Like I saw that, I was like, okay, we're gonna have fun. But yeah, it was amazing. And we started off where we left off last episode was you know Song Jinwoo was about to go into the boss. Now, guys, again, just for preface, I've read the manhwa and finished it, but I don't. When I find out one of my favorite mangas or manhwa is being adapted, I don't reread the part that's being adapted. I find out, I take my time, find out, do some research, find out which arc or the story is being adapted, and I skip that. Even if I get an itch, I either read before that arc that is going to be adapted or after the arc that's going to be adapted. That way, it allows me to get a fresher, not completely fresh, but relive the experience a little bit better, right? If you read the arc that's being adapted and then watch the adaptation, that's where you get caught in that whole one-to-one comparisons, right? And they say, what do they say about comparison? It's a thief of joy, right? If you're constantly uh watching and reading at the same time, like the same arc, it can cause you to keep comparing, and that's a problem, at least for me. I don't know about you, but it doesn't allow me to enjoy the experience as much. But if I, skip that part, they start to get a little new to me because it's been a while since I've read it. Um, so I don't know all the technicalities anymore, but I do know, like, how it ends and stuff. But yeah, you know, so I would just advise anyone, like, try to, if you're finding trouble like enjoying manga or other kinds of anime or whatever because of an adaptation, try not to read it one to one, because if you do, they just can't do it one to one. Sometimes some can, some can't, doesn't matter, but just try not to do it that way because you'll end up comparing constantly, and it's not going to be to your taste or to some people's taste, and you're going to hear people crying about it on Reddit or Twitter or whatever. So just for your peace of mind, don't read it one to one. But yeah, like, what were we talking about? He was about to take on the boss, Chaein. Um, I hope I said it right. Chaein. She pulls up, and our boy has to hightail it out of there. What is funny about that is that would actually, she obviously she smells that he smells different. Like he actually smells. Not only does he not have the scent of normal hunters, which she can't stand, but he actually has a good scent. So it's like, okay, this guy is like different. You know, she's never been, which is weird because I'm like, okay, if only hunters have that smell, why don't you just? I mean, it's not like she's looking for love, right? She's doing her thing, but I'm sure you can run into other guys who are not hunters, and probably date them if she was. She's not looking for love, but still, it is a very good. You can use it as a good commercial. You know, like, hey guys, get in the shower, put on some cologne or good smelling fragrances or whatever, and you too might get your own Chahayan, right? Because I hope I'm saying her name right. Let me know in the comments. I hope I'm saying her name right. But um, yeah, like he smelled nice. It could be a very good commercial for people. And yeah, they went their ways after that. But love its first smell, guys. If you've seen it here first. I have never seen that before, but that was a very good concept. Of her having that condition. It was also explained that it's something. I guess once she awakened as a hunter, it became part of her constitution. To always have that smell, which is pretty good, pretty good. Um, so I don't know. It's looking like a power couple type of thing. Again, I finished the story, but we'll see. Um, there was also like some wholesome moments, right? Like the similarities between the uh, mining team and the adventure team when Jinwoo first started, right? The similarities between them and how like they approach things, how welcoming they were. That part was pretty wholesome. When he saw Kim, I think was it Kim San? Saw the girl Juhi, I think was her name. That was pretty cool, to see them and these new guys, being welcoming, which is always cool, right? You know, so that's pretty dope. That was actually pretty cool. I think a lot of people also, you saw it online, a lot of people really wanted to see that part too. It's these little moments that really hook you. The action is nice and all that, but those little moments, just interaction between viewers and all that, that's pretty good. That's really what makes it, stick, right? Um, but that was nice. We also got to see uh, Son Gihun, uh, which is weird. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the same name as the guy who played in what was it? Squid Games? Let me know. I don't know if I, I think it's the same name. So I don't know if it's the same. It's obviously not the same guy, but it's the same name. I think Song Gi-hoon. So we got to see him. He's a captain. Funny enough, he's a captain or aspiring captain like the dude Kim Chol from episode 2, right? So as Kim Chul was an aspiring captain in the White Tigers Guild, this guy is an aspiring captain in his guild, and he's got a whole team of A and B rankers. So the squad was crazy. Their drip was crazy. The abilities was nice. Like the waifus, like bro, they all looked nice. All of them looked good. Like the clothing, the abilities, the composure. Those guys were dope. They held their own too. Now, fair, like you saw the way they reacted to like danger, right? With no words. It even surprised um Jinwoo, right? Like he's like, yo, these dudes are ready. They're ready to throw down. But those guys were what, like it was a well-rounded team. It was a very well-rounded team, very nice. It was just like terrible luck, which I do like. I love when luck is brought into anime because it's not spoken of enough, right? Sometimes it's overdone, and it's like, oh, this person is just lucky. And then what do we call it? Like we, the viewers, we call it like Nakama BS or uh, what else? This plot armor and stuff like that. Um, but I like when it's thrown in kind of nicely in the sense where it's like, oh, like when the characters themselves like acknowledge it, like you would you wouldn't be alive. Like this is a really dicey situation. You had either bad luck or good luck for surviving this, right? So we saw the fight. The fight was crazy. By the way, the high orc designs amazing. That shit it looks like, I don't know, what is it, tattoos, or their scars, their battle scars against the red skin and their designs. It was actually pretty good. Like what we see orcs in anime sometimes, they're just generic, right? Bald ass head, maybe horns at best, green color, gray color, beige, but they're just generic for the most part. Might have a few scars here and there, but it's not detailed enough. But I don't even know if I can remember any other anime with orcs in there. But this one, like they look like they could have their own anime. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like the squad was crazy. I might have to use that as the thumbnail. I'm not sure yet, but that whole, like the view, like the screen, the shot of those the orcs and the squad, it was crazy. Those guys looked ready to throw down for real, and they look badass too. So that was pretty dope. Um, and apparently they're strong as A rankers, which makes sense. I mean, you could tell from even in the name it says high orc. So maybe, yeah, maybe it's because it's high orc. They're different from, obviously they're different from normal orcs. Probably more intelligent, stronger, and everything. And yeah, we got to see that on display. So they look pretty good. And Jin Woo also, he didn't want to step in too much, so we saw him, use his stealth mode and intelligently, attack like the weak points of these enemies, just to give his team an edge in the fight, right? And we got to see some of the abilities of Song Gi-hoon's team, right? We got to see, I forgot her name, but she's the baddie. I know you know who I'm talking about. The girl with the fire, or I think it's pyrokinesis. I think she has like some kind of fire or heat, heat ability. But there was so many. They're all good. All of them are good. The one who cared about him and try to calm him down, not knowing that he's the one who's gonna calm her down. But all the four women in the team, aside from looking amazing, physically, but also they all had killer abilities. Mind you, I didn't even know that the uh the ability, the healing ability of that lady. I don't know her name, so remind me in the comments. Um, her name and her rank. I can't tell if she was also B rank, like the lady from the season episode 2, or she was A rank. But either way, the ability to, if it's A rank, it's kind of understandable. But the ability to restore lost limbs, amazing. Because you would think that's like a S rank ability, right? Because that is not easy. I mean, even Mushoku Tensei talks about that. I think that is considered, I think, in Mushoku Tensei, king tier level. So yeah, at the very least, that thing seems like an A rank type of skill. So she might be A rank. I think she's A rank. But yeah, man, it's crazy. She looked amazing. The lady with the heat powers looked amazing. The lady with the glasses archetype, always serious. Uh, she looked amazing as well, and physically too. Because at first, they always make that whole glasses shy bob cut, archetype, and they make her, maybe on the slimmer or more petite side, which they did a little bit here, but you know, this one is more bolder than usual, right? Usually, those archetypes, those characters designed, they for the women, they always make them more shy or whatever, because they got the glasses, they got the cut. and they're like, petite and they keep to themselves. But this one is more out there. She's still quiet, still reserved, but you know, she's still also very bold. It's almost like the end design, the end game, or the end character growth for every character designed like that. Like it's almost like that's how they usually end. But yeah, so she was strong. Her ability seems to be, I don't want to say it's summoning, but just some kind of materialization of, these vines or these ropes, a binding kind of ability, which is amazing. So she was able to do damage there. I mean, against the high orcs, not so much, but if it was anything else below them, that's crazy. Um, so they had a healer. They had the lady with the heat, literally. They had classes. Damn, it's bad. I don't know their names, but um, remind me in the comments, guys. I'll get to it. And then they had the waifu with the healing, which is just classic waifu, right? So yeah, they had some strong guys. Even the dude with the band-aid, that guy looks badass as well. We didn't really get to see his ability too much, but it looks like he's handy with the sword. They had a tank with the armor. They had the dude that could summon like his own level of I won't say shadows. Literally, it's not shadows. It looks like fire, something, or beams of light. Let's say, and he could like almost the opposite of Jinwoo in a sense. I could have sworn though in the manhwa his again, I'm not trying to do comparison to comparison, but I haven't seen it. But from the last time I remember, his looks so cool. I don't know if the anime made it look that well. The anime made it look like just like a light version, a light version of Jinwoo's soldiers. With the helmet and you could see the silhouette of almost pretty much just copy and paste Jinwoo, but make it like the light version. You know, or fire looking version. So I don't know. I feel like in the manhwa it looked way more badass, and this is why I don't like comparisons, right? But that was just from memory. I haven't seen it really, guys. But yeah, man, the whole team was great, and we saw that one of the differences between Kim Chul and Song Gi-hoon is that he knew when to retreat, and he didn't try to leave anyone out. He's like, okay, he's still thinking while he's fighting, he's still thinking about his members. And this is an example of good luck, right? You have someone like that. Imagine they actually escaped. He might still have even become captain because he'd be like, oh, hey, we got in. You got out of a tough, sticky situation that you should have died, but you brought everybody. You didn't lose one life. And you had the wisdom and discernment to not endanger the lives of your teammates, right? So that guy was a wise leader, unlike Kim Cho, right? Who just cared more about his self and promotion. So learn something from that, guys. Like, if you're in a team project and you're in a team, try to think about others, right? Which is funny. To be a great leader, I don't know if you see it above me, but that's my mantra. That's one of the things I try to live by. It's be the leader you would follow, right? So that's crazy. I just realized that we're talking about leadership here. But yeah, he's a good example of a leader. And then we got to see Carl again, right? I think that's how you say his name, Karlagan. But we got to see him. Now here's one thing with the dude. He looks scary and all that. Now we can tell he has the ability to possess his subjects. What I don't know, or what I'm not sure of, is his ability to switch languages to a way that humans could understand what he was saying, right? To a human language. So for me, I don't know if that was the system or him, because he did the whole twitching thing that happens with the system usually. So I thought, okay, is this the system? But then he just seamlessly got into it, right? He didn't go like, oh, why can you understand me? Oh, okay. Well, since you can understand me, just follow my orcs to this place or whatever. And nah, he just it's almost like he did that. I think that might have been him. I'm not sure, but let me know what you guys think. I'm not sure if it, you know, um, you don't need to go too much because we're not trying to spoil it for the anime onlys, but you know, you can just let me know. Just answer that question. Don't go into detail. Do you think don't go too far into detail, guys? Let's uh let's keep it enjoyable for everyone else. But yeah, man, next anime, next episode, I'm sure it's gonna be peak. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be looking nice, and yeah, and it's just I'm just so hyped up for where we actually end. Like people have mapped out, oh, this is what's gonna be in episode 7, episode this. So I've seen that map to some degree, and even though it's brought up back memories, it hasn't spoiled it too much for me. But it's like, okay, I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to see how they adapt these episodes. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fire. Let me know what you guys think, though. Did you love the episode? Did you like it? Was it Could they have done better? Are you guilty of one-to-one comparisons? Stop that. You know. But if you can enjoy it, hey, if you can enjoy it and still do one-to-one, good for you. I can't, so I would not recommend it. But let me know what you think in the comments below if you're catching this on a replay. Um, okay, so next up we have Sakamoto Days, and it's a recap. And this is the episode where, like, where we left off or where we ended was Boiled versus Sakamoto, and he was actually putting Sakamoto on the ropes, you know. And it was funny. First of all, before everything, let me just speak on Boiled. This dude, I was trying to find him. Let me see if I can find. I was trying to find him. I'm like, ain't no way, bro. Like that seems like Madao from Gintama, and that dude is one of my favorite characters. You know, the homeless guy. I can't remember what his name was. Was it Madao? Or, let me see. I'm trying to pull it up. But that dude is one of my favorite characters. You know, the homeless one who's always has got glasses. I think it's the same guy. So it's crazy that there's a lot of similarities between this show. This is by the way, guys, this is my first time watching Sakamoto Days. I've not read the manga. I'm a true anime only. But this thing is amazing. And I'm trying to remember the name of that dude. I'm trying to find it. If it's Madao, but there's a lot of similarities between not only just the voice actors, the way they talk and stuff. Similarities between Gintama and Sakamoto Days. Obviously, we know exactly Sakamoto himself is voiced by the same guy who does Gintoki, right? But man, I can't find it. But I think it's the same dude. It's also, I think, this guy who does Kenpachi, which is crazy because that's range. Because when Kenpachi from Bleach is talking, you get the gruff voice. You can tell, he means business. To go to someone who's very comedic like that, amazing. By the way, but yeah, I think it's the same guy. I can't find it for sure. I don't know where the hell I'm on my anime list. I would think he's I would think he's one of yeah, I think it's him. But anyway, ridiculous. Yeah, I think it's him. Yeah, I think it's him. But this dude, bro, he is he's comical. He's comical and strong. Apparently, he was able to give Sakamoto, a lot of trouble. So that was interesting. I like his concept also of using the balls of the trajectory and even you know chemical formations or whatever to do what he did. It was pretty good. He's fast. He's strong, and at least he's something in this show, not like that show. But that dude, man, he kills me. He might be one of my favorite characters. I hope we see more of him. But obviously, Sakamoto goes, you know, gets serious, and yeah, it just overwhelms the dude. Overwhelms the dude. And although it's still pretty interesting to see he was able to make him get serious. The animation was also a little bit off in this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Sakamoto Days is great. You know, I don't know who's animating it. I should check. Is it Mappa? It was a bit off. I don't know if it's Mappa. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Who's the producers? Studio TMS. Okay, so it's not Mappa. But yeah, like the animation is not bad. I like it. I like first season. I mean, first episode, second, third, and fourth. But this one, something about it. It was like the art style, the way that they designed the lady who was fighting Lin or Lu, I think was is her name. And it was just weird. It just looked off. You know, one minute they make her maybe more busty, and the other one, more slimmer. So I don't know if that's more animation or art style, but it was just weird. But it wasn't bad. It was just a quick scene. Everything else looked pretty okay. Um, yeah, that was a good episode. I also like that the wife was reasonable when she found out, when Sakamoto's wife found out that he was being attacked and, there's a hit out on him. She didn't pull that BS over dramatization like, oh, you don't care about us. You lied to me and, just hang on that nonsense. Like, woman, our lives are at stake here. Like, not only was I saving you in the background. I also was also not trying to keep you worried. She didn't, lean into that. I really like that. So she was an understanding woman. Like, hey, just let me know. Doesn't matter. It is what it is, but let me know. Keep me in the loop. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. That bald guy, bro. I can't. That dude made me crack up so bad, especially when he got out the ride and he thought they were caring about him. It's like, bro, pay. It was too good, man. Too good. I hope we see more of that couple, those guys. I also like the dynamic between them. How she was playing the more tsundere or, like standoffish character, but internally she's his partner. I mean, she really digs him. But yeah, it was a good episode. Another part I kind of really liked though was also the ability to gain information on maybe rival gangs or anyone through a movie store. I don't know if I've seen that before. Like like obviously you have some information broker, right? Maybe working in a pawn shop or some kind of low key environment. So yes, this the movie store is a low key environment, right? But usually they're the ones who will tell you, right? The broker will be the one to, oh well, maybe you can find more information on this person if you go to this location, or they'll tell you outright, well, you got to do this for me, and I'll tell you blah blah blah. But I like it that you get to pull out like a movie and it has all the information on, and then there's the whole screening, like a cinema, right? A theater. You get to go in there and go watch it and get all the information you want, which is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that in game or anime or movie before. That's new. That's dope too. Um, but yeah, that was cool. We also got to see the order um, that Sakamoto was a part of, and they look badass as well. And clearly unhinged, right? Nagumo is also hilarious, by the way. That's also a guy. He reminds me. He's that archetype. Same thing, and I'll get to it when we get to Kenshin. But he's the same, archetype as reminds me of Sojiro from Kenshin. It's that archetype where it's like, oh, they're innocent or very nonchalant, like really nonchalant, almost airhead type people, and they're just so innocent, but they can switch like that, and they're geniuses. It's not like they're just whatever. It's like they're geniuses. So he's like that. We saw the other dude who looks like he Kenpachi himself from Bleach, right? And that guy wanted to start something, you know. So there's that guy. There's the lady, she's badass. Usually, when they put ladies amongst a group of guys like that, they usually I'm not, I'm just guessing, so I don't know. Like, again, I don't read the manga, I don't know, but I might almost I'm almost tempted to assume that her ability or her specialty will be something to do with either knives or poison. So let me know if I'm onto something, because it's either knives or poison. Because usually that archetype, when there's a woman amongst men, it's not in those kind of professions or in that kind of situation. She's not really gonna be fighting with same thing with Demon Slayer and Shinobu, right? She's not really gonna be fighting brawn to brawn for the most part. It's usually in a more subtle way to fight. So I'm gonna go with knives and poison. So let me know if I'm at least close. But yeah, so that was it was a good episode. Nagumo was hilarious. And I honestly think he is right now, he is, if he and Sakamoto should were to fight, like a serious fight, like Sakamoto got lean and all that, he might right now be stronger than Sakamoto, I would say. Just from watching anime over a period of years. I don't know for sure. I haven't read it, obviously, but I would say he's either as strong as Sakamoto now or a little stronger. But if it was a Sakamoto 5 years ago, when he didn't quit, his assassinations, I'm sure Sakamoto would, have the edge. But now I think he's different. That 5 years really put a toll on him. So, but I'm interested to see where it goes. I've seen should I say this? The art style even changed in the manga. It kind of got better. I've seen some of the action scenes, and I've seen some character portraits. So I'm curious to see that guy with the X, right? It almost seems like he's like the boss of the whole thing, or the best in the order, or the most dangerous guy. But that guy, I love his character design. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's the detail in his hair, not from even the anime, but like some of the manga panels I've seen of the dude. He just looks amazing. I can't tell what his ability is, but he looks strong as hell. And we saw that he wiped out. What was it? He killed all those people, then threw the whole X and stuff. I don't know if it's the same guy I'm talking about, but it looks good. I'm interested to see the next episode. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the episode as well. Let me know in the comments. What you liked, what you didn't like, little details I might have missed that you picked up on, or that that you enjoyed. So next up, we're gonna go with Dragon Ball Daima. I believe it's episode 15, and yeah, that was fun. Um, our team is still making their way to Goma, and of course, who would turn up but the beta beta version of the Ginyu Force, right? These guys, I do like it that they do have humanity. They're not they're obviously weak, right? They get washed easily. Vegeta clears them. It's not even a competition. It's like I expected them to kind of put up a fight, but it was just terrible. Like I don't even know what makes them special compared to the to the other riffraff running around. Like you couldn't do anything. Like it was so bad, but it was so underwhelming. It was like I knew they were gonna lose. Just of how comical they were. I knew they were gonna lose, but I thought they'd at least try. But it was just terrible. But they get wrecked. And I do like that they had humanity to, one of them was able to give Goku like chips, to replenish his energy or whatever. He didn't even fight too much. That was pretty cool. I like that. Um, but yeah, that was fun. Uh, We also got to see Degasu, you know, I guess try his hand. I can't tell what that dude's plan is. Like over the whole season, we've started to see, you know, he makes certain faces where he's like, first of all, he's very subservient to Goma, but then sometimes he makes certain faces where it looks like he's thinking about something that Goma is not thinking about. Like he's like, oh, you know, like he's scheming something on his own end. And he's confronted about it when he's trying to take away Dende, and I think he's saying like he's gonna be the demon. I don't believe that for a second. He's just saying it makes it sound like he's gonna be the next demon lord. I don't buy it. I think if I were to just go off of tropes that I've seen over the past 20 years, I think it's one of two things. I think it's either that he's planning to do something that will abolish the whole system completely, um, where there's no more. Maybe it becomes a more democratic, rulership. He's just going about it in his own way. Like you want to work your way up the power structure, maybe at the end betray Goma and then create your own system, or he really is just trying to get Goma to be in there. You know, I don't know what his deal is. The dude is it's weird. Like to be so scheming and so weak. It's like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, I don't know what he's supposed to be doing here. Like, do something. Like he lost that way easier, like way too easily. It's not like he could do anything, right? It's against our guys, right? But I thought he'd also put up a little bit more of a fight. But shout out to Hibis, is it Hibis or Hibis and Glorio, right? They came in clutch, saved the day pretty much with that stupid hat. But it came in clutch, and our girl Pansy, she came in clutch as well, saved day. With Glorio though, because they end up finally running into Arinsu, and it's like, what is his story? You can tell, obviously we already know he's working for her behind the scenes, but the reason is why. Now he's starting to sweat. And again, I'm sure you all saw this. You don't need 20 years watching anime to see this, but I'm sure you all saw this coming from a mile away. He he probably owes some kind of a debt to her, a debt of gratitude. Maybe she saved him from certain death on a whim, and he wants to repay the favor, or she has something on him that makes him have to be obedient. And he's trying. Like, I mean, you can tell. You can see he's having an inner conflict, right? He's sweating and he's like, oh man. At first, it was probably a lot easier to just work for her. Oh, these guys are whatever. I'm just gonna betray them. Da, da, da. But now it's like he's starting to get attached and grow with these guys, fight with these guys. When you go through that kind of stuff, you start to build a certain level of camaraderie. And maybe he's now like, okay, man, am I doing the right thing? He's conflicted now. But yeah, it's interesting to see how it all turns out because I guess next episode we're gonna find out for sure. Like the cat's out the bag. And King Kai, is it King Kai? Yeah, I think it's King Kaioshin Sama. That dude, the King Kai, I believe. He is he has been suspicious of that dude from the jump. So we're gonna get one of those Yahari, like one of those so was this what I feared type situations next episode, which by the way looks amazing. If you guys played all the way to the end, um, it looks like we're in for a fight heavy um, episode. And we also saw Goma finally assimilate the third eye and what it actually does. We knew that it empowered the user, but we didn't know how. But for Goma, it seems to be like, at least from what we've seen, I'm sure his magical power has the boost, gets a boost. His physical power, though, also gets a boost because he turned into like a giant, right? So I can't wait to see how that works. So that looks like it's gonna be fun. Daima Man has been, Dragon Ball Daima has been amazing. By the way, side note, Goku's use of ki sensing ability to sense ki, I don't think I've truly understood the magnitude of that thing because I always assumed everyone else could do it, right? Not in this world, not in this demon or the Makai realm, whatever. I'm talking about like back at Earth in his world. Well, not everyone, but like the Z fighters, right? Everyone could sense ki, whatever. But I didn't know that, which I don't know how I didn't think, deeply enough. But like, because Piccolo and Vegeta, they depended on him to find Dende. I'm like, you guys can sense ki too. Why don't you pick him up? Why are you asking me? But it makes sense. I mean, I thought his ability to sense ki was mostly more just for the, instant transmission, right? I know he picked that up from those guys, from these dudes from a planet, but it makes sense that even to do instant transmission, you have to sense the person's ki such a magnitude, that I mean, he can go from planet to planet just off of that. So it makes sense. Um, but yeah, I guess it was just on full display just how much better it was than everybody else's. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see. And Dragon Ball Daima, I've had so much fun watching it. I can't wait to rate it at the end. I use my anime list, and I know a lot of people. Oh, oh, it's too old. It's too this, bro. This thing has been here for maybe since I was 12 when I first started watching anime. So it's been here for a while, and I love it. And I can't wait to rate. Daima. It was, it's our rest in peace to Kira Toriyama. You know, it was his last love child to us, the viewers, I believe, and it's amazing, amazing show, amazing show. I loved Super, but it was I had to like push myself to get until we got to like the tournament arc, right? But this one, I've loved it from the jump, so it's good. So I can't wait to see what's in the next episode. Let me know what you guys are expecting. I think we only have, I think it's only 20 episodes in total. Let me just make sure. Mm, Let's see. I think it's 20 episodes, and it doesn't say. I think it's only 20 episodes though. And we're already on episode 15 or 16. So I think we only have a few episodes left, but we're rounding up. And let me know what you guys think. How long do we have, and how hype is it going to be? Because we've already seen Super Saiyan 3 for both Vegeta and Goku, right? What if we have uh, what was it? What was Piccolo's new transformation? The yellow or golden Namekian, Super Namekian, or something like that. What if we have that? That would be cool. But yeah, that was good. So let me know what you guys thought of the episode, what you liked, what you didn't like, and whatever details you think stood out to you. So next anime we'll talk about is Rurouni Kenshin, right? And this was a great episode, right? But first of all, because I wasn't able to do a recap for last week, so but first of all, hold the thought. Imagine my surprise when I find out that Himura Kenshin is not even his real name. His real name is Shinta. That is so crazy because I did not expect that, right? Because it really, just like his master said, it really doesn't, you know, it doesn't hold weight. It's not like, it doesn't like sound like a strong name, right? I didn't expect that. I thought his name was always Kenshin, like, oh, such a cool name, whatever. I'm like, oh, Kenshin. It's got the X and all of that. And Shinta is his real name. So that was funny as hell. And it was cool to see him young, as a child though. But yeah, that is just a side note. That just blew my mind. I'm like, yo, that's funny as hell. But it was pretty cool. and then he gave him a new name, uh, Kenshin. Also, I predicted in one of my past videos, if you can get through it, right? The audio quality is not good, or the audio quality is really good, but the lighting is terrible. But in one of my previous videos, one of my previous streams, I said it. I knew the master was not going to die. So they clash, right, with the techniques. And he doesn't die, which is good, right? By the way, the technique on its own, amazing. We've been building up to it. Oh, you're gonna learn the killer technique, da 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 da. And that is a genius idea to make that a killer technique. So it's the technique is a crazy ability. Fair, it's not widely used, it's not widely known, but that itself is not the technique. It serves as a test. So if you're able to counter this technique, that counter is the real secret technique. It's the real final technique of the what's it called? The style. Ryusen, I forgot what the name. Um, but of Kenshin style, that's the final technique. Being able to counter a pseudo, final technique, which is pretty cool, right? So the technique's name, the pseudo or the fake or the false final technique's name was Kuzuryusen, and the counter or the true killer technique was Amakakeru Ryu no Hirameki. That's a mouthful, but yeah. But when they say it, it sounds so badass. When I say it, it's like shit. But it's yeah, that's a mouthful. But Ryu no Hirameki, I don't want to take away from it, but I'll just make it easier for myself. Ryu no Hirameki, is the counter to the Kuzuryu-sen, and it's pretty cool. It was actually pretty. I also like that it's a Bato Jutsu type of technique, because that's so synonymous with samurai and anime. Just one sword, one slash, one hit, one kill. You know, pretty dope. So I'm interested to see how that plays out in the final battle against Shishio as well, because he knows it. He knows it. Somehow he knows it. Oh, I didn't teach it to you. Yeah, but I figured it out. He's that kind of guy. You just know, or if he doesn't know it, he has his own. He came up with some technique that somehow counters it. It's like, oh, what? Like, no. Like, I mean, you can see these things almost from a mile away. But don't spoil it. If I'm wrong, let me be wrong. I'm gonna come on here and say I was wrong. But if I'm right, just hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know I know what I'm saying. Um, but like I said, he didn't die, even though it was a requirement. Usually, by teaching the person that ability, they would one life would be lost, and he didn't die, even though he should have. If not for Kenshin's quick thinking, he was able to survive. I don't know if he'd be useful in a battle anymore, but the dude is strong. I wouldn't be surprised. He might be able to fend off, like low level. I don't know if he can fend off like a Jupon Gatara, the 10 swords level people. Normally he would easily, but after that damage, that I don't know. His collarbone might be broken. He might not even be able to hold a sword again. We'll see. And Usui, Usui is starting to become my favorite character just because Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen was my favorite character, and they both have the same voice actor, and it's just so hard to listen to this guy and not like even the cadence, right? The way he talks, the how fluid he's not rushing words, bro. It's just like listening to Sukuna, who in another life, like the Meiji era of whatever. But it's just crazy. Like the dude is, you can tell he's OP, he's strong. Even for someone as blank as Sojiro, you can see that he can sense something's amiss, right? He can tell that, hey, you guys are hiding something from me. And either way, like he's prepared for it, or he's already made counters. We saw him going up all the way to the members, the grunts, quarters, and he's just behind the door listening to their morale, listening to what they say. So the dude is very perceptive. So I'm very curious to see what his thing is. It's also badass that he just wants to fight, and because Shishio beat him, he wants to beat Shishio, beat probably Himura. And like I said in my last video, I think he's gonna be facing off against Saito. I think that's who he's gonna be facing off at the end. Um, I don't know how Saito beats him, but yeah, I think that's their final battle. I think it's gonna be two of them. But dude looks strong, man. He looks strong and he's very perceptive. I'm loving his design. I'm loving. We got to see all the other Jupon Gataras, the other 10 swords. And yeah, man, they got a giant in there. Like I can't tell whether that's a puppet of the small old guy or that legit is its own person. I think it's a legit its own person because he got his own like his name and stuff. But yeah, I don't even know how you beat that. Who's supposed to fight that? Like we don't even have enough members, you know? Probably that's if I was to guess, the way that guy goes, the giant goes out of commission is more either he loses interest, he gets too hungry to fight, or something silly, like oh they set a trap, he falls in a hole or falls down the cliff, and now you can't get back up. Some silly shit. I don't think anyone's actually going to use that technique to beat that kind of person. He's just way too big, bro. Way too big. But we got to see all the other ones. We got to see the dude with that irritating smile, really punchable face. I don't know who takes that guy, but just someone take him out, bro. Just for having that face, he needs to just get taken out just for having that face. I don't even really care what your backstory is, but I can already tell he loves food. So get that guy out of here. But everyone else, looked all right, cool designs. They were all right. And yeah, it was also pretty cool to know what Shishio's grand plan was because I was always like, what is this dude's issue? Like, okay, was it a revenge thing? And to some degree, I'm anime only for those who don't. I should have said that. I'm anime only. Rurouni Kenshin was the first anime I ever watched. And I said in my old video, I'll say it here again, because that video's lighting was terrible, so I don't think a lot of people watched it. But it was my first anime. I didn't know what I was watching, but I loved it. Right? It looked better than whatever was on TV at the time. And I'm from West Africa, Nigeria, and we didn't have access to 24/7 power. We still don't. But I live in Canada now, by the way. But I grew up there, and to entertain myself, I remember whenever my cousin, who was really good at drawing, came over, I would have him draw Kenshin because he also used to watch Kenshin, and he would draw Kenshin, Power Rangers, Superman, all these guys, and I would cut out pieces of, you know, the drawing. Like I would cut the drawing out, from the paper or the book or the notebook he drew them on, and then I would use that as action figures. So Kenshin, my cousin is so talented to be able to do that at such a young age. His drawings were really good. It's not these bins, it's not like some of the stuff you see on Reddit, like, hey, rate my drawing. Listen, it takes courage. I'm not shitting on those, but we just try a lot of people were just trying to be nice. Oh, hey, good job. But this thing was what maybe it's from my memory because I was a kid, but it looks so good. It looks so good. And yeah, so it's the first anime I've watched, but I didn't like the whole when I grew older and I got back into anime because for a while I didn't watch it. I got back into it after a while, and I didn't like the whole old looking animation. Hunter x Hunter has it, Full Metal Alchemist, like I think the original one has it, Rurouni Kenshin, that old grainy looking Cowboy Bebop looking. Cowboy Bebop I had to watch because that's kind of like classic, and they don't want to do a a new visual, so that was fine. I had to watch it. It was all right. I liked it, but those old looking anime, I don't really like watching. So I was really happy to see that they did Rurouni Kenshin in today's time with the new improved visuals. And it's a one-to-one adaptation, I believe. It's amazing. I'm loving it. I've rewatched a couple episodes. Whenever I can rewatch something, it's high. The ranking is very high. And yeah, so I have never understood what Shishio's plan was. Sorry, I had to ramble a little bit, but I had never understood. I never read the manga. I never finished the story, and I never knew what Shishio's plan was. I didn't even know he was a boss until, you know, this like what last year when he got introduced. I'm like, whoa, Shishio, like who's this dude? I think I'd seen artworks of him, so I knew he was from the universe, but I didn't know. I knew he was also a villain, but I didn't know he was like the big bad, the final bad. And finally, we get to see what his issue is, which is start a major fire in the capital, and then to kill off all the important government officials, right? And probably reinstate the people he picks. So that is ballsy as hell, but it's finally good to know what he was trying to do. I guess he was trying to. I guess it looks like he's trying to take things back. Did Kenshin's side? I believe Kenshin fought on the side of the Imperialists. Did they win? Or I don't think they won. So I know that guy was this Shishio might also be an imperialist. So is he trying to do this and then have imperialists win? Not sure about that, but yeah, like it's ballsy and the dude has the influence and skill obviously to do it. So I'm curious, man. We're getting towards the end of the whole story. So I can't wait to see the final battle. You can tell he's also a genius. One of those I see it once, I got it. Kind of like Sojiro. Sojiro is also a crazy one, but Sojiro, I can tell the dude that archetype. It's either I'm playing double agent or your side feels fun now, so I'm gonna switch to your side type of thing. Like I've been with Shishio, but he lost. I saw the end of his side. Da da da. I'm gonna switch to your side now and see the end of your side. Like he's probably someone did a ranking, kind of spoiled it for me a little bit, but I'm not even too surprised and the person had him as the strongest person, I think, in the whole series. I'm not even surprised. I could have sworn, isn't that also the same? Isn't he play the same character, not voice actor, but the same character from history of the Shinsengumi, similar to the one in Gintama, the Okita Sojiro. So he's also termed as a genius there, right? One of those people who just, yeah, they might be the youngest member of the team, but they're just leagues ahead. Like they see it once, they got it. We already saw him have the same level of speed, of drawing speed with Kenshin, right? That's just drawing speed. The dude is still a kid, so I can tell. I'm not even surprised if he's the strongest in the whole series. It's just one of those kind of characters, right? But I'm not surprised if he switches at the end to Kenshin's team, or he says, "Oh, I was playing double agent." Okay, okay, bro. Still a fun guy though. Still a fun guy. I don't hate him. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Was it good? Did you like it? What was the key takeaways for you? Right. Um, so the next and final episode I will be recapping is Grisaia Phantom Trigger, episode 5, Phantom Blade 2, right? And here, we got to see more of Murasaki's backstory, right? Which looked really great episode. I really liked this episode. We got to see her backstory, and we got to know a little more about her. We saw her as a kid, cute little kid. We saw Haruto and how she knows Haruto, right? He came to the village to learn her clan's secret technique. The father was hilarious, taking it automatically that, hey, you're trying to marry my daughter. No. and the mom just like ignore him and just went, let him continue his stupid tirade. But I love the dynamic of her family, of Saki's family, and we got to see Haruto, and how he interacted. He met her first time and all that. Pretty cool. Um, and I also like to see the character growth of Saki. As she grows, right? As Haruto comes into the picture, he starts teaching her about courage, starts teaching her about, loving herself, being bolder, you know, and it was really good to see how she grew. Um, I hate bullying. We got to see Saki being bullied, as a kid, and I hate bullying. I never been bullied, but I just hate to see that. Even in anime, it still riles me up. I don't know why. I think it's a good thing, but I don't know why it's just so hard to watch sometimes, especially as kids. Because someone said it one time, like kids, there's this level of innocence, but then there's also a double side of like they can be really innocent good and they can be really innocent evil. They don't even know what they're doing, and that's what makes them kind of scary sometimes. You know, I don't. It's whenever I see bullying incidents in anime, it just throws me off. Like that one in this episode, the one in Mushoku Tensei when they were bullying Sylphie. But anyway, I like how Haruto was able to give her courage. I like the whole understanding of a master, right? When he asks her, "What is the most important thing to you?" and she's like, "I don't know yet." You know, I think her mom told her that it should be a master. You should find someone you're willing to serve for the rest of your life, and that person's word is law, which is not far fetched, as a shinobi. But um, I like that as well. That was pretty cool, and we can obviously tell she's starting to grow attached to Haruto. You know, I don't know if it's romantic, but at the very least, it's getting to the point where it's like, oh, this person is dear to me, and all of that. I like this person. I'm interested in this person. Who is his favorite person or who is his most special person. So I like that. I like the change that happens to her. She becomes more confident, and that was pretty cool to watch. And it seems like Yuki. That's probably how Yuki and Haruto might have even met, because in the sense that Yuki seems to also have wanted Haruto as her master. But then obviously, that changes by the end of the episode because she realizes she would just rather serve her sister and protect her, almost make her master in a sense. Now, she had a temporary master servant relationship with Haruto, but I think that was probably how they met or how they started. Like, oh, to initially for him to become her master or whatever. He just came to learn the technique, but she'd like, okay, if you become my master type of thing. But like she said later on, Saki, her younger sister, also really likes whatever she has, and she ended up, you know, without being said, giving Haruto to Saki, as a potential master. And yeah, that was cool to watch. It was pretty wholesome at first, but then obviously the bad part came. The massacre of her clan, that was crazy. And the visuals, Jesus, it was pretty good. It was gruesome. But it was pretty good. I love the animation team behind those guys. I believe they're the same guys behind Monogatari series. The Monogatari series. They're so good. I wish they did more on the action though. But it is what like the action, like hand to hand coordination, choreography or fight scenes. It always ends so quick, right? But still, the visuals are amazing. And we saw that Saki's clan was massacred and butchered, and all in search for that secret technique that Haruto himself is also there to find. And I love the genius of the mom to keep her sword, her, let's say, family heirloom or special sword, to keep that sword not in the obvious, place like a safe, but behind a painting. That would be like you coming into my house trying to rob this place, and you see a safe, and you're like, "Oh, this is where all the valuables are," and you pick whatever you find in there, and you're like, whatever, this place is a waste. And then all my real valuables are behind this painting. So I like that. I like how she was able to do that, especially when you consider now in today's world, if that happened, the robber would probably try to check the painting, right? But in that time, well, actually, their time is actually like our timing. It's just they just live in the country. So, but still, I still like it. It's still a pretty cool thing to like throw them off. And she hands it, leaves it, to Haruto. So I guess that's the sword he uses. So that's the story of his sword as well. So we get to see all of that, and we get to see what that killer technique was, which is somehow it's weird. I'm still not even sure how it happens. It seems to be because it seems that only you can either self-activate it or you need someone to activate it for you. Because Saki, under the pretense or under the assumption that her sister Yuki and Haruto massacred the clan, she saw the fire, she saw the chaos going on, she saw the dead bodies, her mom and dad butchered. She thought they were behind it because they were the only ones who weren't there. So she was able to activate herself, and she was, I believe, the last practitioner of the clan or of the technique or whatever. And yeah, it was crazy. And I love the name because it fits. The Phantom Blade. They become the killer technique is pretty much they themselves, the user becoming a weapon themselves, right? So not like a literal weapon, but like pretty much a weapon, almost in the sense that she calls herself Phantom Blade. So she can, let's say she has a sword, or she feels like she thinks she has a sword, she has a sword. Whatever she thinks she has, for the most part, I think is pretty much it. And so you're literally, they almost manifest, they turn imaginary objects into reality. So it begins to affect reality, and that is crazy. So it was really cool to see that. And she was able to, go through that transformation and go on the hunt for Haruto and Yuki. And the Yuki needed Haruto to help activate her ability. So she also had the same ability, or same ability, but she chose to use guns, which normally would make sense, but somehow, obviously it's one of those character tropes or character situations where the younger sister has even a hidden power or hidden talent even greater than the older sister, which is not how we were introduced to Yuki, right? The way Yuki and Saki interact, Saki tells us, oh, she can never beat her sister. She can never this. The sister is a combat ninja. She's the greatest of this and not that. And, we see from then, like back then, it looks like the sister, like Saki actually has some hidden power potential that is even greater than his sister. And she's able to, like beat her straight up. And it was also pretty genius of, it also explains after she's beaten, after Yuki has been beaten, it explains how that it's through that fight that she had that that memory altering effect, right? Where she constantly has to read memos on who she is, because she's a spy or she's a shinobi, so she has to constantly change between different personalities or different characters, and she has a memo, so she can't keep track of all that anymore because probably because of the fight with her sister, the damage from that fight. And Haruto also tried to fight, conventionally. and he lost. He realized very quickly, okay, not only, like, can I not harm her, because any damage inflicted from a real object to someone who is using the powers of the imagination, it can't do anything. When he found that out, he was like, okay. But it was also genius of him and of his master who taught him that, okay, yeah, maybe to think more, in a more resourceful manner. He just countered it by, it's almost like play fighting. You know how when it's like you're playing with your friends, oh, no, I shot you, and then the person goes like, or then you go like, oh no, you didn't shoot me. It's literally like rewriting. So he had to pretty much play in the same way with her, in a real fight to the death, but play in the same way with her that made her feel like her blade was countered and stopped, and then he was able to, knock her out, which is just wild. It's almost childish, but at the same time, it's actually pretty genius. So it was a great episode. I loved it. Um, but yeah, man, that is my take. Those were the animes that we went through. Like, let me know what you guys thought about it. What you guys thought about uh this week of anime. Those, Grisaia Phantom Trigger, Dragon Ball Daima, Rurouni Kenshin, Sakamoto Days, and Solo Leveling. Let me know what you guys thought about it. But yeah, it was a great week and a lot of great episodes. If I had to say my anime of the week out of those five, honestly, it's actually, I would give it to still Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is on fire this season, bro. It's gonna be tough to beat. Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling was good. But yeah, guys, that is my take. We've been going on for about an hour now, and I don't even know if anyone is actually on here. Um, but yeah, that is my. Let me see if anyone is actually on here. Let me see. Yeah, we've been going on for an hour, almost hour 30. Let me know what you guys think about this past week, and what are you guys looking forward to, right? What are you looking forward to? Because we're in for a good one. But yeah, that might be it for me. Um, Follow me on Instagram. I put it on the banner below. Coco Dan to you. If you just want to, you know, support the brand, or find out what I'm doing. It's there. At some point, because mostly you're going to be watching this on the replay, but at some point I will. This will be the link. You can hit the link and you can join. I don't know. I'm still trying to get. We're struggle streaming, guys. We're building the plane as we fly it. I'm still trying to understand everything here. StreamYard and stuff. But I don't know if anyone's live now, if anyone's watching. But just to do my due diligence, I'm gonna give it 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. If anyone's watching, hit the link. I put it in the banner. You can see it on the stream. Feel free to join the stream. Hit the link below. I'm going to. I don't know if it's in the chat. Let me see. Let me see if I can put this on get this link. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna paste it. So I'm putting the link in the chat. Feel free to hop on. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes, just because I know it's a small channel, so not a lot of people might be checking it out. But if you catch it on the replay, the whole idea again is to create a more vocal, more visual anime community, right? A lot of times we're regulated to forums and comment sections and all of that, but let's put some faces behind our thoughts, right? Behind our ideas. So that's what I'm trying to do with this community is to create a more visual, more vocal community, right? So on this stream or on my channel, we will be hopefully bringing people up, like to have conversations with. I got to work on my monologue, man. It took me damn near an hour 30. I don't know if anyone who likes to watch me talk that much, but yeah, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts as well. As we're going through them. So I'm gonna give it like what is it, like 4 minutes. Let me know what you guys think. Now there's rules to it. Um, there are rules to it, so there's gonna be priority to people who actually have a face behind you know, who are gonna actually come up and show their face, right? It's not enough to just have an icon. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, so yeah, there's no one on here, but I'll just give it 5 minutes, the remaining minutes. But yeah, like I'd like to have people, come up dressed, not crazy or anything. Just just wear a t-shirt, whatever. Dress however you want, but not um don't be underdressed. Better to be overdressed than underdressed. Okay, so just have a t-shirt at least. Not a tank top. Tank top is pushing it at this stage, maybe, but you know, um, yeah. So that don't be driving. Don't be eating. Don't You want to create a pleasant viewing experience for everyone else, right? Um, but yeah, I think the 5 minutes are up, just because my battery is also dying. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. Um, if you have any criticism, any constructive criticism, negative criticism, positive words of encouragement, let me know as well in the thoughts. I need to know what you guys think, right? It makes it worthwhile continuing this and setting all this up and going through all the struggle streaming. All right. Um, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.